Okay. Disturbed ball. And then read this one.
Okay, this is a disturbed ball foul. It is a foul if A, you disturb the cue ball, B, you disturb more than one object ball, C, a disturbed ball contacts any other ball, and D, you disturb a ball that is in motion. If a disturbed ball has no effect on the outcome of the shot, your opponent has the option to leave the disturbed ball where it came to rest, or to restore it to its original position before the next shot. If the disturbed ball is to be restored, a referee may restore it, your opponent may restore it, or you may restore it with your opponent's permission.
With your opponent's permission. And that's what I see in this club more than not, that somebody moves a ball and they just put it back. In Rio, you're busted. You've just given your opponent ball in hand.
And it says it is a foul if you touch or restore the disturbed ball without your opponent's permission.
You can't move it back. And we're so used to doing that, we got to get out of that habit. Team practice. This is a funny.
All right, team practice. In team play, this rule applies to all members of the team that are in the team's lineup, whether or not they are playing at the time or whether or not they are listed on the score sheet of the match in progress. Penalties for fouls in team play. A, for violations by a player who is playing a game at the time of the foul, the penalty is applied to that player's table only. B, for violations by a player who is not playing a game at the time of the foul, the penalty is applied to all tables assigned to the match.
Ooh, so us five are on the same team, and you guys are playing on these two tables. I get up, I go over to this empty table, and I shoot. Our opponents are on top of their game. They call over the referee. I verify what happened. Believe it or not, as soon as I'm called, both tables stop play. Both tables' opponents get ball in hand. Both of them, right? Read the rule. Read that last sentence again. I want you guys to be clear on that, how strict they are about this. 2 ball in hand tables. You can't practice. You can't go to an open table.
The last one. For violations by a player who is not playing a game at the time of the foul, the penalty is applied to all tables assigned to the match.
Right. I'm not playing. My opponent, my teammates are playing on 2 tables. I got busted for practicing. I'm called over to the table. Everybody verifies what happened. Play is stopped. Opponent ball in hand, opponent ball in hand. You can't practice. Okay, let's get into this situation. We're playing 9 ball. I just missed, and you're coming up to bat. Of course I'm calling the referee over. I have to. Isn't it possible? So I'm coming over to the table. Who's the shooter? Al's the shooter. I can see we're playing 9 ball. You're going to shoot the 1 ball. What pocket are you going to shoot the 1 ball in? Okay, so you're going to try to shoot the 1 ball in that pocket. Mr. Shooter, both the 3 and the 9 are frozen. And again, if you're a turkey and you're confused, why is he telling me that? We've already been there, done that. We're not going to go there. You know about the turkey effect. Okay? I'm going to get in position, and I'll let you know. Isn't it possible that I shoot this 1 ball so softly because I want to move the 3 for my next shot, that the 1 ball ends up here, not hitting a cushion? Isn't that possible? And in trying that cut, isn't it possible that this cue ball could bounce off of this and bounce off of that? Isn't it also possible that it just bounced off of this? That's ball in hand. Does everybody agree that that's ball in hand? But it's only ball in hand if you call me to the table. You can't call me over after the fact. Because how could... I don't know if it was frozen or not. You didn't call me over. You got to call the referee over. I've seen this, where they tried to shoot this so, and this was frozen, and it actually went off of this and then hit that. Now,
Louis, you're not supposed to go up to the table if you're not shooting. How do you know it's frozen?
because you're sitting there, it could be frozen. You're letting your opponent know that you know the rules, and you're not going to be the turkey, and you're not going to be taken advantage of, and let the referee say it's not frozen. Because if nothing else, haven't you broken your opponent's rhythm? Haven't you gotten in their head a little bit, given them something to think about? There's no downside. On a list of pros and cons, there's no con to calling the referee over. You have to call the referee over in these situations. Yeah, you can't get up off the table and look yourself. That's not your job. That's my job.
There was one situation, this happened to me, where, you call the referee over to look at the shot that, the opponent asked the referee to look at the situation. And then he found, his buddy came over. And now they're talking.
No. So when I'm called over to the table,
Yeah.
who's the shooter?
No. What I'm saying is, there's another referee came over and talked to the original referee I called. Now I'm getting ready to shoot, and I shot. He said,
You can't do that.
foul.
It's a foul.
You need to.
It's a foul. You fouled.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things Doc Dave read.
So okay, tell me.
Time was out. Time was out. You can't shoot while time is out. You have to wait for the referee to do his thing and say, I'm going to get in position. Once I'm in position, I'll say to you, okay to shoot. You can't
Why
shoot.
He just bullshit with the other referee.
No,
He
he
never
was
get himself
the
ready.
referee in training, because I got the ball.
Well, okay. That stuff happens. Push, no fit.
Against you.
Ask opponent.
Hey, I'd like to ask you one question about sportsmanlike conduct.
Okay, just 5 minutes more? We okay?
What is it?
I don't know, just read it.
The whole thing, or you got it X'd out?
Or just don't read what I have X'd out.
Okay, this is the category asking an opponent. If asked, the non-shooting player must provide information to you concerning the game on the table. For
So
example,
we talked
who
about
has
that.
which group in 8-ball or whether they committed a foul.
Okay, yeah, so we had talked about that already.
Yeah. That's just asking
Okay.
an opponent.
Okay, we all know I take a shot and I put my hand here and I see the cue ball coming like that. We all know that's a violation, isn't it? What's the penalty? So what if I don't put my hand here and the ball goes in there? What's the penalty? Great rule, isn't it? No. The purpose of the rule is because if I did this and the ball happened to go like that, he'd still get ball in hand. The opponent would still get ball in hand. Now, we have a 7 o'clock meeting, and we don't want that to run late. I have other things that I would like to transfer from my head into your head. We have an 11 o'clock meeting tomorrow with Zindra. For those of you that are interested, I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to continue this. I covered most of it, but if you're coming to the 11 o'clock meeting tomorrow, please don't sit on the table, Tony, please.
Just a half a second after we're walking out. All these rules are great, and I believe in rules. Why this year that they're so hot to make rules? Did something happen last year that precipitated this going on? I mean, a lot of this stuff...
No, nothing is new.
Disaster